What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? This is Heat Wave Media Group. Right now you're here with Stack Smooler and you're here with JoJo. Understand? Right now we're gonna talk about a few things in this podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, whatever. Now, you were talking about today, Rich the Kid and the Summer Walker situation. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's dive a little bit into that.
Yeah, so I was just telling Stacks, I thought it was interesting that Summer Walker was saying, listen, she told Rich the Kid, listen, you put me in the phone as a pizza boy. All right, I ain't trying to get you into no problems with your girl, your baby mother, your fiance. So you just have me in the phone. However we got to do this, just so we can do this, we gonna make it happen. She made it very clear. And then, and I was cracking up because after that, she changed her profile, I think on Instagram or wherever. She changed her bio to basically say, the pizza man. So I was like, yo, she's wild funny for that.
The Pizza Hut or something like that.
Yeah. Call me Miss Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, yo, Summer Walker, that's you funny girl. But yeah, so
my whole thing is like, why, right? I mean, how rich is Rich the Kid? Isn't he worth like only like $4 million?
Yeah.
And Summer Walker's network is like, like, isn't it more than his?
Yeah, like, her net worth is more. But I mean, according to what was reported, because I mean, we don't know what people really make. But according to, when you Google it, the net worths that we're getting, the math ain't really mathing. So we trying to understand.
That's the point I'm trying to make to you. Okay.
We trying to understand.
The point I'm trying to make, like trying to make here is like, Summer Walker is a rich, beautiful black woman, for example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't she just find her own man and go from there? Why she gotta have somebody that's worth less than her? But didn't, according to the video, he was like shopping for her or buying her this and buying her that?
Yeah, he was buying her stuff. He was taking her and her girls to Paris. They was, kikiing it up, having, living that real fun life. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she was just enjoying the time with him, enjoying his energy. But what the point I was trying to get across is I feel like some women, because like we all know Summer Walker went through some shit publicly, with her baby father and stuff like that. Her producer baby father, she went through something publicly. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe she just reached the point where she's like your old, wealthy auntie who's kind of cute and you always wonder why she's single or, whatever the case is, or your mom. Your moms might have been single for years and you always wonder, yo, my mom's is mad cool, why she's single? Because basically women reach a point where they just tired of dealing with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like they really stress you out to the point where even though you can get your own man, it's like, but when you're his main woman, does it become too much of a damn headache and a hassle that it's easier to be the side chick because you get into loving without the hassle?
Okay, so is that the topic that you really want to talk about right now? You want to talk about is it okay to be a side chick in 2025?
I ain't with that. So I don't know if I really want to touch on that. But how about we touch on the different types of guys? You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk. Like in my opinion, I think there are like, I feel like you have the alpha, you have the beta, but there are different types of alphas and there are different types of beta. I sum it up to either you are you're an alpha, but you're the lame type of alpha. You're not like the, you know what I'm saying? You have no type of real self-preservation. You don't have no respect, not only for yourself, but for women, but you're an alpha. You make money, you're desirable, your friends love you, your family love you, so on and so on. Your head is in the clouds and, you own the world type shit in your own right. Right. But then you have the lame type of alpha that he's just freaking lame. You know what I'm saying? Like he's disrespectful. He's the lame type of alpha is the type that will be married, for example, and he'll have an outside kid. You understand? Like, without telling his wife that he's having an outside kid. Like, if I'm an alpha, for example, and I want to have an outside kid, whatever the situation is, I'm going to tell my wife, well, not only do I have a side shorty, but I want to get her pregnant. That's alpha. You completely control everything that's going on in your life, completely control it. And whoever is not down with the program, they gotta go. Whether it's your wife, whether it's whoever, whatever, you say your piece, you tell your truths, and they gotta respect that. That's a real alpha. That's how I walk. That's how I walk personally. Like that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not gonna be a lame dude and have an outside kid. That's weird. Without telling you that I'm over here, at least with a side shorty, smashing it out. That's lame. Even though, remember, alphas, they are 6 feet better. They make money. They're the most desirable men out on the market. They're like, you know, especially when you're talking about Black men specifically. You know, saying 6 figures, nice cars, they dress nice, they look good, they're physically fit, you know, so on and so on. You know, they take care of their families, the family respect them, so on and so on. That's what I'm talking about with alpha men, but you have different types of alpha men. You know what I'm saying? The lame-os are the ones that they just don't know how to really control that type of power. They don't. That power is all over the place. They don't know how to find a balance with it. That's the word I'm looking for. They haven't found a balance. You know, for it. Now the beta. Now the women, when it comes to women now and dealing with betas, whatever, y'all kind of are the problem when it comes to picking y'all men, because there isn't any in between when it comes to men. And I think I told you, it is no in between when it comes to men. Yeah, it's either you got an alpha or you got a beta. That's like saying Steve Urkel got an in between. Nah, he's either Stefan or he's either Steve Urkel. It's not. It's not an in between. You understand?
But you know what? That's whack, though.
And y'all choose. You know what I'm saying? You don't want Steve Urkel.
No.
Even if Steve Urkel got money, you don't want him. You don't want the guy that's good. Oh, Queen, what do you want today? What do you want? Y'all don't want that type of man that y'all can run all over and y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. It doesn't matter how much money he makes. It doesn't matter. He might be skinny, but he got money. He might not like be physically appealing or physically like what you guys are looking, but he's willing to do everything under the sun for you. But you still can't find any kind of respect for him. So that's like the lower level, like betas. You know what I'm saying? I call those the betas. The betas are the ones that are usually the followers. They're never really the leaders. You know, and they look up to other men. They can't really. They're the 80% of the men that you're here today that are not really getting poom every single day. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting poom like that.
They saying the 20% is getting it, and the 20% has, you know, all the women want the 20%. So women today are sharing men. But the reality is this, like what he said about the betas, a lot of them are the undesirables. And I got to be clear about this, not because they're willing to do any and everything for their woman, because at the end of the day, listen, I'm not saying no to someone that wants to do any and everything for me. I mean, that's great. But is he the type of guy who's a complete pushover, somebody you could walk on, like, and nobody really wants that unless you're the type of woman who's not really a strong woman, who's the kind of woman who can literally lead. You know what I mean? Because like I'm more of that strong, you know, woman, that alpha female. So for me, I don't want a guy that I'm going to have to lead, or I'm going to have to like, because it's going to feel like I'm doing everything, or I'm like, you know, like a mother type figure, you know, like I'm taking care of you. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't want to be on a baby boy. You don't want to be raising
I don't want to do the baby boy thing. So I'm grown. You know, so, I mean, I think there's a certain type of female who could deal with that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? But if you are that real strong female who's a go-getter, you out here, you getting it, you doing your thing, you kind of want someone that's going to match your energy. But me personally, I'm not really with this whole sharing and this person's coming out and publicly, because I don't even know how this became public, to be honest with you, this situation, but I thought that was real foul. And you know, when we was talking about the
whole voicemail
and the betas, like when it comes to these outside babies and this, that, and the third, let me tell you right now. So what happened to Miss Nikki Baby? Like, I have to say this. Okay,
LeAngelo Ball and Nikki Baby.
LeAngelo Ball and Miss Nikki Baby. Like, that was just dead foul. Like, you don't want to wake up one day, you just had your second child with a man, and he's over here, you know what I'm saying? He one day he just ends up telling you when you approach him because he's acting funny. He ends up telling you like, yo, you know, I'm expecting a baby with another female and I'm kind of leaving y'all.
Exactly.
So
the perfect example of what I'm talking about. And alpha, no disrespect, man. I'm just calling it how it is. I like want you guys to understand this is just our opinions. These are not based on facts. This is just how we feel. We don't want anyone feeling a certain way. And
these
so
are public stories.
These are just public stories. These are just our opinions on what it is. Like I consider
allegedly,
I consider that to be a lane. Even though he's rich as shit. Let's be honest, he's rich as shit. He was once in the NBA. His brother's an NBA. They come from
and we love the Ball brothers. We love the father. We love the Ball brothers.
We love the Ball brothers.
But I thought it was whack.
It's definitely whack. Like, you know, when you're, you know, you're just having these outside kids, you know, who is your main girl? Who's your main woman? And do you have any respect? Like, you know, respect is earned.
Where's the loyalty? You know what I'm saying? Where is the loyalty? Like, I would like to feel like if I'm your main girl, because what's the point of being a quote unquote main girl if you're a doormat? You get constantly disrespected, walked on. You know, what's the point? At that point, it's like, yo, you better off doing what Summer Walker's doing, because if you're just being walked on just to be called a main girl, would you say he's not loyal if he was just simply unfaithful? Because that is two different things. Yeah, people try to tie it in. People try to always tie it in, especially in today's society, loyalty with faithfulness, and that's just not the truth. Some men are just not biologically wired to just be faithful to one woman, but they can be loyal to one woman in a sense. So, you know, like, what is your take on that? Listen, my take on it is,
if he would have never got her pregnant, would you still say that he wasn't loyal?
Listen,
if you would have never got the next girl pregnant,
it's deeper than that. All right, this is what the issue is. In my opinion, is okay. Number one, it's bad enough. You got another female pregnant. That, to me, that's like a deal breaker. That should not happen. That should never happen in a relationship. Like, unless you approach your girl and you say, listen, you know, I want another kid. I know you don't want another kid. Y'all, there has to be some kind of something. Like, and not saying that your girl has to agree to it, but I feel like a conversation of some sort. I feel like you having an outside kid and it's coming out of nowhere, you know, to somebody that you're supposed to care about and that you're supposed to have loyalty to. And then on top of that, you're leaving your girl and your family for another woman. You already have a family with your girl. My whole thing is, like, to me, that is very disloyal. Like, you've already been unfaithful, obviously, but now you've been disloyal because you having an outside kid and you're leaving your family for this outside kid. Like, I don't respect none of that. I just don't respect none of that. I feel like what's the point of being a main girl? The point of being a main girl is that these things are not supposed to really happen to you. Like, you're supposed to, like, your man's supposed to protect your heart. Like, you're supposed to be living in your little bubble of whatever. Like, nothing is supposed to reach your heart, your ear. Like, it should not, if something did happen, if there was a misstep, like, your heart is supposed to be protected at all costs.
Okay.
In my mind, like, period. There's no excuse for anything else. I feel like, what are we doing? Like, without us having to sit down and me knowing that you're not as happy or something, and we're kind of like deciding if we want to part ways or if we want to try a new dynamic in our relationship as a conversation. Without that happening, I just feel like there's no loyalty. There's no point in me being a girl or a wife if that's what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you might as well, then maybe Summer Walker's right if that's the case. Like, I'm not saying she's right, but what I'm saying is, like, what's happening today is just dead
wrong.
What's
happening today? What's happening
Where's
today?
the loyalty?
Okay, what's happening today is that there has always been a side or a mistress. Like, for a lot of men out here, if they could afford it. If you could afford it, if you want me completely honest with you, a lot of men that are rich, that are alphas. You know, some men that they don't even have to be rich most of the time. They don't even have to make $100K a year. They just gotta have that thing because they're an alpha. You know, you know, there's alphas out here that's not even worth $1 million. That's not even worth $100,000, but they're alphas. You know what I'm saying? They're handsome guys. They're fit. and they're one of the 80% that's getting the prune. Because I feel like with women, it's definitely like emotional. Like we will want to say it's about the money.
But you gotta have morals. You gotta have morals. All of that. Morals, like what do you stand on?
Yeah, you gotta. You gotta stand on something.
I was raised. You stand for something, you fall for anything. And if you ain't about nothing, it's easy to be disloyal and have no loyalty when you ain't about shit. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, like, and for me, like, I stand on my principles. So, like, I'm not with that. If you
money, we will want to say it's about the status in our honest opinion, but I'm telling you, in my honest opinion, but I'm telling you right now.
No, it's not. Everybody knows that brokey that's been getting it. It's
not, there's dudes out here that can, when another dude's girl is out on a girl's trip in the Bahamas somewhere, hey man, what you doing on the beach by yourself? Nah. Your man's not here. Okay, come back over to my house right now. Roll up a spliff and don't worry. I'm gonna take good care of you today. We're just gonna come over there. Oh yeah, we're gonna just talk, man. We're just gonna talk, man. Next thing you know, she's giving up the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. And he probably was broke as shit. You know what I'm saying? He probably had no money. It's not about that. Like, I don't think when it comes to women, it's about really just having that natural swag as just being an alpha man and just having that natural swag. A lot of stuff is going on right now in this world. Like, I honestly don't agree with. I feel like everyone just needs to find some type of balance. And you can't find any balance if you just simply don't have any type of direction in your life. You have to have some type of direction. You need to know where you're going. Like, what you want. You have to have some type of self-respect, respect for others, some type of empathy. Just because you all that doesn't mean you have to act like you all that. You understand? Like sometimes, you don't gotta, just because you are doesn't mean you have to act like that. So you can say the same thing about Summer Walker then. She should be standing on business. Like why she gotta leave a whole voicemail talking about she wouldn't mind being a side chick. And I'm sure she was under the influence when she left that voicemail. I'm sure she knew exactly what she was doing. This is a woman that is worth $6 to $10 million. Like you're not telling me she didn't know what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She could have stood on business.
She knows what she's doing, but like if
she's falling into the movie trap.
Yeah.
Of what society, of today's society, of what saying, like the culture is like this wild culture that's going on.
Yeah.
You're saying that I feel like is destroying the fabric,
like the
fabric,
family and the unity,
the family fabric, the unity when you're doing this type of when you're spreading these types of messages. What your mom used to say when women were pregnant back in the day? She said something like, "Nah, deeper than that. You will only know that child was yours by information." Oh,
yes. My mother always said that. She said, because back in the day, it wasn't no DNA test. So like, if somebody said that was your child, that was your child. And it was your child by the information that was given to you. So who the hell know if that was your child for real?
Exactly.
So there's some people that's going on Ancestry.com today and finding out that grandpa ain't really grandpa.
Yeah.
And it's fucking up families. It's messing up Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay? Because now they're like, oh, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's really grandpa. And I got this whole other family that I never met. Oh, shit. So.
Listen, the whole thing about it is like people got to stand on something, man. People got to stand on some type of business. It's too much craziness going on out in this world right now. And we just got to like find some type of ground. Like, it's just wild. This is wild west right now.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not a feminist. I'm not a sexist. I'm also not a misogynist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a realist. I'm a realist. I go off of what brings more balance to the universe. The shit that we doing right now got the universe out of whack.
Yeah, it's out of whack because the men are acting like women, the women are acting like men, and I'm damn confused. I like some of the stuff that I watched today, I'm really confused because, the women are acting very, very masculine. So like I was watching this video where a guy actually said that the women are they're like sailors. You know what I'm saying? They're sailors. They're pirates.
Seafood boils.
They're pirates. They want seafood boils. They want liquor.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And they curse a lot. Yeah. And obviously for guys, that's not, hella attractive. And I ain't gonna lie, I love a good seafood boil. But like, yeah, like if we're just acting real masculine, real aggressive, and then the guys are acting real soft and real feminine, and then we only have a couple of, the alpha men, I could understand why, a lot of women are only attracted to the few. So then the many, the 80%ers, because they're literally saying that only 80% are getting ass. And
80% of men only
80% are not getting ass.
80% not getting no cheeks. 80% of the men right now is not getting no cheeks. Not on an everyday basis. They, when they say that term, yo, I'm getting lucky tonight. They know they really getting lucky tonight. They really getting lucky because they probably only scored 3 times, 4 times for the whole entire year because they're not in no long-term relationships. Relationships, first of all, it takes a lot to get into a committed relationship, especially in these days. In these days and
to maintain,
to get into it and then to maintain it, especially in these days of time, because for so many factors, for so many reasons, especially that's why I say a lot of this generation right now, if they don't get their priorities straight. And if they don't follow the right wisdom, like through the content that they're watching, if they're not following certain types of people, or if they're not reading any types of books, or watching movies and really like to build, or build up that self, education, that self, what's what I'm looking for?
Self-awareness,
that self-awareness, the self-awareness, a lot of people are lacking that as well. But that's a whole nother topic. People have to build up like that self-preservation, that like, what? Let me learn from this guy. This guy looks like he figured it out. Let me read these books. These guys look like they figured life out. Like they look most of the time happy. Remember, I feel like people should be pursuing like happiness. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever really makes you happy. You understand? Yeah. But if whatever you're doing to make you happy comes at the cost of other people feeling sad, other people feeling, like mad at you and angry at you all the time, I can almost guarantee you that thing that you did not make you happy.
No, it's not. A lot of people
guarantee you.
We're lying to ourselves.
I can almost guarantee you it didn't. Seek out real and true happiness. That's what I honestly believe. Like seek it, like really seek it out. Seek out. Like I find happiness in others, like feeling inspired by me. So I do things in life to make people feel inspired. I find happiness through that. I find happiness in doing things for others to make other people feel good about themselves and to build confidence about themselves, or or put a smile on a person's face. I'm the type of guy that walks down the block and see an old person and say, "Good morning." That makes me feel happy. And saying that little thing right there makes me feel happy. Coaching my son's basketball team or football team makes me feel happy. Having conversations with them, things like that makes me feel happy. You seek out certain things that's going to make you happy. Now, when you're happy, it's you're breathing positivity in life. It's outward. It's something outward. Negativity consumes you. So anytime you do something negative, it consumes you. You know what I'm saying? It consumes you. It's not outward. It's inward. It consumes you, and it eats you up inside. You might not. So for every bad act that you do in life, it's eating you up. And then when you finally come to that point of realization in your life where you want to basically be like, you know what? Let me self-reflect. And when you finally self-reflect, when you finally sit down and you go through your life and you go through the years and you say, yo, what good have I ever really done in life? You're going to look in the mirror and be like, damn, I didn't do nothing this good. And it's going to eat you alive. You're going to go into a depression. Sometimes you might have to log off of the internet because the internet is only feeding you negative content, and you simply cannot intake it. You don't know how to intake that information. and pump out the data. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to process the data that you're receiving and put it out.
Yeah.
Because you're just simply not strong-minded. Some people want to believe that they're strong-minded, but they're you know what I'm saying? That's what I think is going on with Summer Walker. She's always online. She's seeing all of this stuff with girls being side chicks and all this.
It feels like they're winning. They're getting money.
They're winning. They're getting money.
Put
they're
up.
getting crab feet. They're getting like lobster boils and like seafood boils. And they're going on this trip.
Flew out to Paris, to this place,
they're going to Dubai to get doodled on. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in life right now. You know, but that's what it is. That's what's actually happening right now. Like my whole thing is like people are just a little lost. I feel like, and it's because they're not knowing how to process the information. You and I grew up in a time where you really have to be self-aware. Because if you were not self-aware, you got bullied, you got kidnapped, something bad happened to you. You were either abused. If you were someone that was focused, if you were someone that didn't know how to properly deal with people, if you didn't know how to walk through life, like you end up getting fucked. That's how life was for us growing up. So it was very important for us to figure it out. You had to figure, and I'm talking about everything. You had to figure out, morals. You had to figure out ethics. You had to figure out, like how you want to look. When I was 16, I always had in my mind what you want in life.
What you stood for, what you want.
What you want in life. And I'm not talking about nothing petty. I'm not talking about, I just want to be rich and famous. No, bro. Really, sit down and think about what you want.
Think about the people that you want around you. Think about, do you want a family? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be in a long-term relationship? Do you want real peace? Because real peace doesn't come from the drama of messing with other women's men. Because there's no peace from that. That is just drama. Like you said, you're going to have a woman that wants to beat you up. You're going to have other women because if he's messing with you, he's messing with these other women. It's just too much to deal with. And who needs that? You know what I'm saying? Who needs that type of drama in your life?
Major facts.
And also you realize as you get older that you're going to start to feel used. You will start to feel used. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen some women, from maybe 5 or 10 years ago who, when they were younger, they were the it girls and this one was coming after them. That was coming after them. Everyone wanted to be with them and they felt happy whether they were side chicks or not. But now no one's checking for them. Now their accounts are dwindling. Now it's harder to pay their bills. And now they're feeling used. So now some of them are bringing up lawsuits against consensual acts even that they did back in the day. Yeah. Now don't twist my words around. I'm not talking about real victims who really were taken advantage of, but I'm talking about the women who feel advantaged of because they consensually gave of themselves, but now they reached a point where they just feel like they were used because they don't have any peace from it. And they also now lonely because as you get older and no one's checking for you, now it feels a little lonely, right? And you feel like you were just used up and that's never a good feeling. Yes. There's no peace coming from that. So we got to think about these things for real.
You're saying, you definitely got to think about peace. I feel like people should be trying to walk in peace right now. Like the suicide rate is so high right now. You understand? And it's coming from depression. Depression, nothing is peaceful about depression.
It's loneliness. We're acting like we're okay because we with our girls, we getting our money.
Okay, so before you even go, I'm peace.
Delusional.
I'm living in solitude.
I'm at peace.
I'm living in solitude. You understand? I ain't got to come home and hear nobody. I ain't got to come home and talk to nobody. I ain't got to deal with nobody. I ain't got to commit to nobody. I can do whatever I want to do. I could walk this life however I want to walk this life.
Yep.
There's not one relationship that I've ever been in that I felt like I was trapped, ball and chain. You know why? Because I'm self-aware. I knew who I was to begin with.
I'm strong because I don't need anybody.
And I expressed to that person who I wanted to be in a relationship who I was. These are my boundaries. This is who I am. This is what's going to happen. So on and so on. You with it or you not? The problem is that a lot of people are not doing that. They're not keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? There's no self-awareness because they themselves don't even really know how they are and how they're going to be tomorrow morning. You might be wake up tomorrow morning and be the Hulk. And then the next day you want to be Iron Man. Like, no, bro, you got to choose who you are. You got to like know who you are, have that self-awareness and be what it is. And then set boundaries in whatever committed relationships that you are in. If you know that you are a certain way and you want to be in a relationship, communicate with that. And I'm talking about the first couple of dates that you're doing that. You're doing that like on the first, second, third date, no matter how cute you think that girl is, no matter how cute you think the nigga is and how much money you think that nigga got. It's not about any of that. It's about your peace, like what you want. You know what I'm saying? So if a person can't really accept you for who you are, and just like how, and vice versa, if you can't accept them for, y'all not compatible, y'all ain't gonna be together. Stop putting up this facade. It's not gonna work. So you going home and making videos or commenting on videos of people talking about being alone and it's some type of solitude and it makes you stronger. People that's like that, it's harder to manipulate. Are you kidding me? People that are lonely are the easiest people to manipulate. People who live alone and don't have anybody that's living with them and so on that they can come back home to and tell their what happened with their day or what happened to them. No protection or nothing. You get a flat tire on the damn road. Who you gonna call? You know what I'm saying? Like something happens in your house or whatever, on the roof or whatever. Who you gonna call? You got nobody. Not even your booty call can come over there and try to work out for you because he's just a booty call. So all that stuff that you're talking about, you're home and you're lonely.
You're lonely.
You're sitting down there and you're lonely, and it's easy to manipulate someone like that. They have nobody. They have no family. They have no real friends.
Somebody
they have
can tell
nobody
you
that loves them. They have nobody that loves them.
Believe it. Yeah.
Being in a relationship, you have to be open. You have to be open to love. You have to be open to hurt. You have to be open to everything. It's suffering. It's suffering. And learn how to accept that. Life is about suffering. Like you learn how to accept it. The moment you come to a realization that life is about suffering, you learn how to start dealing with certain types of consequences, certain types of things that happen in your life. You know, like you just learn about certain types of suffering. You learn about this and you learn how to deal with it.
And
you
honestly,
can't build character behind the beauty.
You got to find the beauty in that suffering. You got to find the beauty in this life, because when you overcome things and you realize like, oh my God, God took me through this and I made it to the other side and I'm stronger for it. And you realize, you know what, that these weapons will be formed, but they will never succeed. Any weapon formed against you is not going to succeed. You're like, wow, you know what? I can handle whatever comes my way. And, you know, you find beauty in that. You find real beauty in that because you're like, damn, a year ago, I was here. I felt low down. I was so unhappy. I was lonely. I was whatever I was. But today, look at me. Today, I'm much stronger. Today, I'm way more successful. Today, I started a business, or I helped a family member come out of a bad situation. Whatever it is that you're able to do today that you weren't able to do yesterday, you realize how amazing that is. And you realize the things that you've overcome. So it's like, you just got to keep going, but don't pretend to yourself. Don't act like, oh, the way that I'm feeling, me feeling lonely is making me strong, or me feeling, no, you don't have to stay in that state that you're in. You know, you just have to learn who you are, and you learn who you are by really, really reflecting on things. Like when certain things happen to you, you have a fallout with somebody. These men are nothing. These men are nothing. Or these women advantage.
How to overcome it. That's how you build character.
Yeah.
These women are nothing. Yeah. This is also a narrative that I'm not liking. I'm not liking as well, because I'm not gonna lie. Like before I met you, I was outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna sit down here. I was outside. Probably a couple of women are probably gonna watch that. Yeah, I was with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I gave you what you was worth. You know what I'm saying? Like I gave you what you were worth, or what you showed me that you were worth. Respect is earned, and if you know what I'm saying, if you're deserving of that respect, I'm gonna give it to you. You understand? If you're compatible, like it is what it is, and we're just gonna ride it out. You understand? That's how it works. in life. Like, but don't get mad just because the last guy you weren't compatible with or whatever, and you're just bitter at the whole world. Oh, there's no man for me, or that. That's not true. And a lot of the times, you probably did have the right guy right there in front of your face the whole time. Same thing with men, and vice versa. You probably had the perfect woman right there the whole time. Compatibility. She respected you. She was a loyal woman only to you. She might not have been loyal to the last guy, but she's probably loyal to you. And you just let it go away. And same thing with women. And just because that had happened, they let the one get away and that the one is not there no more, they're mad at the world. That's what it really is. That's what it really comes down. That's what I'm starting to believe it is. I'm starting to believe.
We're not made, human beings were not made to be lonely. We weren't made to be lonely.
Because they let the one get away, they already gave up on it. They already gave up on like committed relationships and marriage and so on and so on. So they would rather live in this delusional world where I can stay in solitude and be happy and be in peace. I can be by myself and be in peace. For how long? How long can a person live by themselves with no family and just be happy? How long? Like how long? I say, if that's something that you wanted to do and you wanted to be alone for a little bit, I would say probably 3 years should be enough. If it's past 3 years, you need to go seek out a therapist.
Yeah, but I think even 3 years is a lot. I mean, you could live in solitude. Like, you could live by yourself. Like, I lived alone for a couple of years. But, like, do you live alone and not spend time with family?
Did you really live alone?
Well, I mean, no one physically lives with me, but I've had family and friends. So that's
some people that I'm talking about don't even have family or friends that come over.
Listen, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out because it has to be someone you're connecting with. We're not only talking about romantic relationships. It has to be someone. There has to be a family member, a friend. Some of us even have older friends or younger friends that like we just connect with and we vibe out with. Like someone. There has to be someone in your life that you're able to connect with. You got to figure that out. And if you're not figuring that out, it has to be that like you have to do some self-reflection to figure out who you are and why you're not connecting with people. I don't believe in that neither. Like, the second somebody tell you about yourself, you just ain't messing with them. Like, at the end of the day, if I can't tell someone that I consider to be a friend or someone that I am close to the truth, then we have a problem. I should be able to tell you something that I feel like, hey girl, I feel like, you messed up here. Or, my guy, you messed up over here. You shouldn't have did whatever. If I can't even tell you that, then what are we doing? Like, that's not a real friendship to me. Then we're just associates. If I can't tell you the truth, because sometimes when you see a friend slipping or you see a friend not, friend or a family, they're not handling things the way they should be, or that they need an extra bit of help and you suggest it, that's whack. Or you try to tell them, hey, I need a minute. I'm going through something right now. And then like, you're not allowed to have that little moment to go through what you got to go through. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a major problem. Like, cause the thing about life is that all of us go through things and all of us have our whatever problems or whatever issues. Now, just because you seem like you're walking through life and you're just breezing through it, I think people have a tendency to think that you don't have problems or issues the way that they do because they're not breezing through it the way you are. And they don't realize it. And then you're like, wait, hold up. I'm going through stuff too. And like,
you know
what I'm saying? And because I'm over here and because maybe I just handle my stuff in my own way. And maybe I don't complain about my stuff. It don't mean I'm not going through
it. My bank account could be a negative right now and a nigga would never know that my bank account is negative. I would still live like as if I'm a rich dude. You would never know. You would never know because people go through things in life. Like you just never know.
You never know what people are going through.
Like what really matters at the end of the day is like your internal happiness. That internal happiness. When you're not happy, you're going to do things like leave a voicemail on someone's wife's phone and be like, hey, yo, put me in your phone as the Pizza Hut man.
Yes.
You're gonna do things like that. No, you're really gonna do things like that.
Because you're seeking something. You're seeking those little moments of happiness. You're seeking, I just want to have a lit weekend with her man because we always have a good time together. So you're seeking moments of feeling validated, feeling happy, but none of that is real. That's like superficial shit. And then when it's all over with, you're still over here, alone. You know what I'm saying? And eventually you will feel used because eventually whoever this person is with is who they're going to be with.
Yeah.
And eventually you get older and then you become that older woman who may be feeling a little lonely.
Yes.
If things didn't work out. I'm about to have my shot. I think it's shot time.
What kind of shot is that? What's that?
Okay. So this
is Sunderlight.
This is
natural
a
juice
reggae Sunderlight. Yep. All natural.
All natural. That's it. What does that do for you though? What does that do for you?
Okay. So number one, it gives you energy. It's a aphrodisiac.
It's an aphrodisiac.
So it makes you.
So it makes you feel a certain way down there.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little something.
Down south.
Yeah.
All right. It makes down south turn into the tropical storms.
It just keeps everything flowing the way it should be.
Okay.
It keeps the juices
all natural.
All
shout out to reggae. Reggae Sunderlight, all natural. Natural juice bar right over there in Harlem on 145. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 145 in Harlem.
Some great shots. Go over there.
145 and what?
145. Let's say 145 reggae Sunderlight. They'll Google it.
Yeah. They know what it is.
So you go over there in Harlem, get yourself some shots. If you're trying to weed off the alcohol and you're not really trying to. It's good for your inflammation. It's good for your blood.
Learn what the Rastas have known about for years.
It's good for sexual enhancement. Things like that, especially for men. Especially men of a certain age,
they have men's shots and women's shots.
We had a juice bar, baby. So that's a whole other
topic.
Story.
We'll get there.
So if you're someone that's not you're trying to weed up the alcohol, things like that, it's not alcohol. You understand? But it's gonna burn the chest up. Over time, it's gonna be real good for you. So if you're around them little reggae spots, and they have the little juice bar spots, I would decide. I would tell you right now.
I would stop by any fertility issues. It'll knock that out.
It's really good. It kills the inflammation in your body and everything. It's really, really good. Just making sure when you're drinking these types of shots, you also are drinking a lot of alkaline water.
You gotta drink a lot of water.
A lot of alkaline water. A lot of alkaline water.
You gotta hydrate.
You understand? Yes. So. Okay, yeah. So you gotta do things like that. But yeah, back to what we were talking about, man. So you don't want to end up just feeling like used or lonely or and you don't want to lie to yourself. Let's not be fake happy. You know what I'm saying? There's some of us, we run around, we gather our girls together for the weekend and we just raising havoc and we doing things that are not really going to make us happy in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to sound stiff or nothing. Sometimes you want to have those fun weekends. You and your girls want to get together, do what y'all do. But